Hi there, this is Chris Tilley reporting for IGN from what looks like a comic book store, but really isn't. It's a set of Matthew Vaughn's new film, KickAss, which is based on a comic book that looks a little something like this.
Comic books had it wrong. You don't need a power to be a superhero. Oh yeah? Didn't see that, did you?
KickAss is the story of a high school senior kid who loves comic books, loves superheroes, and wonders why, out of all the millions of people who love superheroes, no one's ever given it a try. Of course, the reason for that, the answer to his question, is that it's a terrible idea and hugely dangerous, but in his youthful exuberance, he decides to give it a shot.
Well, KickAss, tragically, is quite autobiographical, because it's the idea of a teenage loser, you know, who, is so bored sitting in the house just playing video games and things every night, just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if in real life you tried to be a superhero? And genuinely, this is honestly true, is that my friend Paul and I, we thought, why not try this? We saw it as a career option. The story is what would have happened if we had the balls to actually do it and go out and try one night on patrol.
Who are you? I'm KickAss.
Mark Millar came up with this premise and said, would you like to try it out? And I agreed, and then it morphed into KickAss. It started out as something a little bit different, and he said it's a gamble, and he said try it out and see what you think. No money up front, it's a complete gamble to create our own series, and we started working on it, and it got a buzz, and Matthew Vaughn came along, and it is where it is right now, which is exciting as all get out.
KickAss! Red mist! Oh, that kind of hurt!
Mark Millar gave me a pitch, which I loved, and he then sent me the sort of I don't know what it's called, but I suppose the script of the comic, first two issues, and I read it and I had a movie in my head immediately, and he did the deal, and I wrote the script with Jane while he wrote the comic at the same time. It was sort of like probably the first time it's ever happened.
Well, I had obviously the story worked out, the issues worked out. Before I start writing the scripts, you know, because you've got the flash forwards from issue 1 and everything. I hadn't actually written the script for anything. I'd written half of issue 6, hadn't written anything in issue 5 really. In issues 7 and 8 it was just plot, you know. So I fed it down to Matthew, and Matthew overtook me. I mean, his screenplay eventually overtook the scripts that I'd been writing on the comic. So it was really bizarre. It was probably the only time in history I'd imagine this has ever happened. Spider-Man, there was a 40-year gap between the origin story and the movie, but we pretty much finished at the same time. It was crazy. It was
Really nice that the film was actually developing alongside the comic. It was a really interesting way to work.
Matthew, I don't know, he gives the impression of being, like most directors, you know, of being quite immovable, you know, but he's actually probably one of the most reasonable people I've ever met, you know, like when it comes to a story idea or something like that, if he would send something, he was amazing at keeping us up to speed on every single line that they were writing, and if there was something that you disagreed with or something you didn't feel would work, and he was the same with Jane as well, when Jane was doing the screenplay, you would discuss it, talk it through, and then the most reasonable conclusion would win, and that could be any one of the three of us, you know.
No one's got any superpowers, so that'd probably make it very different. It's far more postmodern. It's irreverent.
It's a really odd story, but completely gripping.
There's nobody with fantastic powers, but there are people with fantastic ambition.
If anything, it's got nothing similar.
That's right, we're superheroes. You love us.